In the ordinary world, we live under a shadow of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of wrong action, fear of something we call sin. The idea of sin has shaped cultures, societies, and even families. It has been used to control behavior, to instill guilt, to make people obedient. But when you step into the world of the Aghori, when you enter the cremation grounds where truths are not hidden but naked, you encounter a perspective that is so radically different that it shocks most people. The Aghoris laugh at the very idea of sin. And they laugh not out of arrogance nor rebellion, but out of a wisdom so deep that it unsettles our conditioned beliefs. Why do the Aghoris laugh at sin? Because in the vastness of Sanatan Dharma, sin, as we commonly think of it, has no absolute existence. It is a construct, a convenient label given to actions, often without understanding their deeper karmic roots. To the Aghori, the universe is not divided into neat categories of holy and unholy, pure and impure, sin and virtue. Instead, it is a play of energy, a dance of Shiva, where every act has consequence, but no act carries eternal damnation. Let us first understand the difference between Sanatan Dharma and the later interpretations of morality. In many traditions across the world, sin is absolute. It marks you forever, it stains your soul, it separates you from divinity. But in Sanatan Dharma, the framework is karma, not sin. Karma is not a punishment handed down from above. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect, the subtle weaving of energy that ensures balance in the cosmos. If you act with anger, anger will return to you. If you act with compassion, compassion will find its way back. There is no eternal record of sin, only the ongoing balancing of karma. The Aghori sees this clearly, and so when someone speaks of sin, they smile. To them, labeling something as sin is like saying the night is evil because it is dark. The night is not evil. It is simply another expression of the same reality. Likewise, what we call sin is often just the shadow side of human action. It has consequence, yes, but it does not condemn the soul forever. Here lies a hidden truth rarely understood. The very word papa in Sanskrit, which is often translated as sin, does not carry the same meaning as in Abrahamic traditions. Papa is heaviness, a weight on the soul. Punya, often translated as virtue, is lightness, upliftment. Both are states of energy. If you accumulate papa, your soul feels heavy, bound, difficult to rise. If you cultivate punya, your soul feels light, elevated. But neither is permanent. A person heavy with papa can purify through sadhana, through seva, through awareness, and a person high with punya can squander it through arrogance and selfishness. The balance is always in motion. This is why the Aghoris enter places and do things that others call sinful. Eating from skulls, living with corpses, practicing in cremation grounds. They do not do these things to shock or to break taboos for entertainment. They do it to demonstrate that nothing is inherently impure, nothing is forever sinful. It is only the mind that labels, the mind that fears. When you dissolve the mind's illusions, you see that even death, even ash, even the corpse is a sacred expression of Shiva. There is an old anecdote told in the oral tradition of the Aghoris. A young man once came to an Aghori master horrified. He said, "Baba, I committed a sin. I lied to my family. I stole from my friend. I feel damned." The master laughed loudly and said, "Then why are you still alive? If it was truly sin, Shiva would have burned you instantly. The fact that you breathe means you are not condemned. You have only created ripples in the lake of karma. Now make other ripples to balance them." This laughter was not mockery. It was the laughter of someone who sees the vastness of life beyond the narrow cage of sin and guilt. Another layer to this understanding is that the Aghoris do not see God as a judge sitting above tallying rights and wrongs. They see God as the very essence flowing through all, beyond duality. Shiva is both creator and destroyer, both purity and impurity. If God is truly infinite, then where is sin outside of that infinity? The very idea collapses. There is only experience, consequence, and liberation. But this does not mean the Aghori advocates recklessness. Do not mistake their rejection of sin for an invitation to indulgence without responsibility. The Aghori knows karma cannot be escaped. Every act shapes your path. If you harm, harm will return. If you heal, healing will surround you. To say there is no sin is not to say there is no consequence. It is to free the seeker from paralyzing guilt so that they may act consciously instead of living in fear. This is where the wisdom of Sanatan Dharma shines. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that even the gravest sinner can cross the ocean of delusion by turning wholeheartedly toward truth. Even if the most sinful person worships me with undivided devotion, he is to be considered righteous, for he has made the proper resolve. These are not the words of a god obsessed with sin. These are the words of one who sees beyond labels, who values transformation over condemnation. The Aghori takes this teaching to its extreme conclusion. If even the darkest act can be transformed through awareness, then what meaning does sin hold? It is not eternal, it is only a veil. Once pierced, the soul is free. And so they laugh at the idea of sin as final, as binding, as eternal. They see it as the child of ignorance, a misunderstanding of karma's fluid nature. Think about it carefully. How many of our lives are weighed down by guilt, by the thought that we are bad, unworthy, damned? How often do we punish ourselves for years over a single mistake? This is the prison of sin. The Aghori path offers liberation by reminding us that mistakes are part of the play, that we are not condemned but constantly evolving. You can burn your karma in the fire of awareness. You can balance heaviness with lightness. You can choose again. In fact, the cremation ground itself is the greatest symbol of this truth. When the body burns, all labels vanish. The saint and the sinner both turn to ash. Their social identities, their reputations, their so-called sins and virtues all dissolve in fire. What remains is the pure essence beyond judgment. The Aghori meditates on this, laughs at the smallness of human morality, and embraces the vastness of divine play. This is why, when you walk with an Aghori, you do not find fear of sin. You find freedom from guilt. You find responsibility, but not shame. You find awareness, but not condemnation. It is a teaching that can transform how we live, because it frees us from the burden of being perfect, and instead guides us toward being conscious. So the next time you feel crushed by guilt, remember this wisdom. Sin is not a permanent stain. It is a heaviness, and heaviness can be lightened. Through truth, through compassion, through sadhana, you can dissolve it. Do not fear sin. Learn from it. Laugh at its illusion, and walk forward with awareness. That is why the Aghori laughs. Not to dismiss morality, but to show us that morality bound by fear is not morality at all. True morality is awareness of consequence, responsibility for action, and liberation from guilt. That is the forgotten wisdom of Sanatan Dharma, carried fearlessly in the cremation grounds, where laughter echoes louder than fear. If this teaching resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt weighed down by guilt or the idea of sin? What helped you to release it? Your stories can guide another seeker walking this path. And do not forget to subscribe to the Aghori Code, because only together can we revive these ancient truths, dissolve fear, and walk the path of freedom.